On April 23rd, a sunspot the size of 13 Earths fired two of the most powerful explosions our star has produced in 78 days. The radiation traveled at the speed of light. 8 minutes later, it slammed into Earth's atmosphere and knocked out radio communications across half the planet. Pilots crossing the Pacific lost contact with air traffic control. Sailors on open water went dark. For almost an hour, shortwave radio simply stopped working from Australia to East Asia. That sunspot then rotated to the far side of the sun, out of sight, out of range. But today, it's coming back. And this time, there's one difference that changes everything. A difference that separates a near miss from a direct hit. The region's name is AR 4419. And when it fired those two X-class flares 2 weeks ago, it was sitting on the sun's western edge. Think of it like a cannon pointed sideways. The blast goes into space. The radiation hits Earth instantly because it travels at the speed of light. But the real payload, the coronal mass ejection, the billion-ton cloud of magnetized plasma that gets launched away from us into empty space. Harmless. That's exactly what happened on April 24th. The flares hit us with electromagnetic radiation. The radio blackouts were real, but the plasma myth. We got the flash. We didn't get the punch. Now here's where it gets dangerous. The sun rotates. One full turn takes about 27 days. AR 4419 left our view around April 25th, heading around the far side. And right now, today, it's rotating back into view from the northeast. That means it's no longer pointing sideways. Over the coming days, as it moves across the sun's face, it will be pointing increasingly toward us. If it fires again, and the activity on the northeast limb suggests it very well might, the cannon isn't aimed sideways anymore. It's aimed at Earth. Let's talk about what that means. Solar flares come in 5 classes. A and B are background noise. C-class flares happen daily and rarely affect anything on the ground. M-class flares are moderate. They can cause brief radio disturbances. Then there's X-class, the top of the scale. Each step up is roughly 10 times more powerful than the last. What AR 4419 produced on April 24th were two X2-5 flares. That's not just X-class. That's 2.5 times the baseline of the most powerful category that exists, and it did it twice, in 7 hours. But the flares weren't even the strangest part. The day before, on April 23rd, something happened that solar physicists call a sympathetic flare. Two separate sunspot regions on opposite sides of the sun erupted simultaneously, not sequentially, simultaneously, as if the magnetic field connecting them snapped like a rubber band pulled from both ends at once. That kind of event tells scientists that the sun's magnetic architecture is under extreme stress. It's not one region acting alone. The entire surface is wound tight. And AR 4419 was the pressure point where it broke. Solar physicist Ryan French confirmed the twin X-flares were the most intense solar eruptions in 78 days. But what matters now isn't what happened, it's what's about to happen. Because the region that produced those eruptions didn't go quiet while it was on the far side. Instruments designed to read the sun's seismic vibrations, a technique called helioseismology, can detect activity on the side we can't see. And the northeast horizon of the sun has been alive with eruptions for days. Filaments lifting off, prominences dancing along the entire limb. NASA's GOES 19 satellite captured the spectacle in ultraviolet light, plumes of superheated plasma arcing hundreds of thousands of miles above the surface. These aren't gentle, they're violent, and they're coming from exactly the position where AR 4419 should reappear. The question every forecaster is asking right now is simple. Has AR 4419 maintained its complexity? When it left our view, this region carried a beta, gamma, delta magnetic classification. That's the most complex designation a sunspot can receive. It means the region contains multiple magnetic poles twisted together in configurations that store enormous amounts of energy that gets released as flares. If AR 4419 returns with that same classification, we're looking at a region capable of X-class eruptions now positioned where its coronal mass ejections can reach Earth. That's a fundamentally different scenario from 2 weeks ago. Here's what a direct hit CME from an X-class flare actually does. When the plasma cloud arrives, usually 1 to 3 days after the flare, it compresses Earth's magnetic field. That compression drives electrical currents through the ground. Those currents flow into anything conductive: power lines, pipelines, railway signals. The most vulnerable components are high voltage transformers, the devices that step power up and down across the grid. A severe geomagnetic storm can overheat and permanently damage these transformers. And here's the fact that should make your stomach drop. A single high-voltage transformer takes up to 4 years to manufacture. There is no stockpile. There is no quick replacement. If a major storm destroys dozens of them simultaneously, the affected regions go dark. Not for hours, for months, possibly years. This isn't speculation. It's happened before. In March 1989, a geomagnetic storm caused by a far less powerful event knocked out the entire power grid of Quebec, Canada. 6 million people lost electricity for 9 hours. Transformers overheated. The cascade took just 90 seconds from the first relay trip to total blackout. 90 seconds. That's how fast a functioning modern power grid can go from normal to dark. And that was from a storm that doesn't even rank in the top 5 of recorded events. The people of Quebec woke up to cold houses, dead phones, and no way to know when the power would return. Schools closed. Hospitals ran on backup generators. Traffic lights went dark across Montreal. The worst-case scenario has a price tag. Lloyd's of London estimated that a Carrington-class event, the kind of storm that happened in 1859 when telegraph lines caught fire and operators received electric shocks, would cost the global economy $9.1 trillion. Between 20 and 40 million Americans would lose power. Not because the sun destroyed their homes, because it destroyed the machines that deliver electricity to their homes. Machines we can't build fast enough to replace. Now, does that mean AR 4419 is about to cause a Carrington event? No. The probability of any single active region producing a storm of that magnitude is extremely low. But here's the thing about probability. It compounds. Every X-class flare from a region facing Earth is a roll of the dice. Most rolls are harmless. The CME misses, or it's not powerful enough, or Earth's magnetic field deflects it. But you don't need every roll to hit. You need one. And we're rolling the dice a lot right now. We're at the peak of solar cycle 25. Activity is running far above every prediction made when this cycle began. Solar physicists originally expected a weak cycle, maybe 115 sunspots at maximum. The actual count has blown past every forecast, with some months doubling the predicted values. The sun has been producing X-class flares at a rate that has surprised even veteran forecasters. The last time the sun was this energetic, most of the monitoring systems we rely on today didn't exist. We're better equipped to see the threat than we've ever been. We have the Solar Dynamics Observatory, the GOES satellites, the SOHO spacecraft watching from 1 million miles out. But seeing a bullet doesn't stop it. Seeing a CME doesn't deflect it. And the only defense our power grid has is advanced warning and manual intervention. Operators racing to disconnect transformers before the current fries them. NOAA's Space Weather Prediction Center is watching AR 4419 closely as it rotates back into view. Over the next few days, they'll assess whether the region still carries its delta complexity, whether new spots have formed during its far side transit, and whether the magnetic tension is still high enough to produce major eruptions. If the answer is yes, they'll issue watches and warnings. If the region fires an Earth-directed CME, we'll have somewhere between 15 and 72 hours of warning before impact. What can you actually do with 72 hours? More than you'd think. Charge everything. Your phone, your laptop, your portable batteries. Fill your car with gas because pumps need electricity. Get cash from the ATM because electronic payment systems might go down. Stock up on water. Electric pumps supply most municipal water systems. Know where your flashlights are. Think about your medications that need refrigeration. Download offline maps because GPS might degrade. Tell your family where to meet if phones stop working. These aren't doomsday preparations. They're the same things FEMA recommends for any extended power outage. The difference is that this one could come from 93 million miles away, delivered at 1 million miles per hour, triggered by a sunspot that already showed us exactly what it can do. Remember those pilots who lost radio contact over the Pacific 2 weeks ago? That happened when AR 4419 was aimed away from us. The flares hit, the plasma missed. This time the geometry is different. The sunspot is rotating into position, and the sun hasn't calmed down. So here's the question. If NOAA issued a 72-hour warning for a major geomagnetic storm right now, what would be the first thing you'd do? I want to hear your plan, because one day that warning won't be hypothetical, and the sunspot that fires the shot might already have a name.